The San Antonio Spurs have a generational talent in Victor Wembanyama and other promising young players, but last season was far from successful. Despite their struggles, the future looks bright, and today we'll take a deep dive into why the Spurs will be an exciting team to watch next season and how they'll improve in areas where they fell short last year. We'll explore how Wembanyama's unique skill set and potential growth, paired with the veteran leadership of Chris Paul, can transform their offense and defense. Additionally, we'll look at the continued development of young talents and how their improved roles and experience will help elevate the team. Now let's get into it.
Mama, there goes that man.
First, we need to look at the previous season from the Spurs and the biggest things that stood out. We can't start this video without talking about the Spurs star player Victor Wembanyama. Last season was Victor's first season in the NBA, and even with the high expectations put on him before he entered the league, he blew people away with his incredible talent. Standing at 7'4", Vic can do it all. He has a smooth handle with a clean shot, which isn't typical for his size, but when his shot isn't falling, you can rely on him to be a defensive monster with his IQ and size. There's so much to look forward to when it comes to Vic, but let me tell you why we're excited for him next season. In the first half of the season before All-Star break, Victor averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game, and those are amazing numbers for any player, let alone a rookie. But after the All-Star break, we got to see why Victor is so special. After the break, all of Wemby's numbers went up, going to 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks per game. His efficiency went up as well. He was taking and making more threes while also getting to the free throw line more, averaging almost 2 more free throws per game after the break. In his rookie season, Vic won the Rookie of the Year award, but something more impressive is how he made first-team All-NBA defense. This team is reserved for the best defenders in the NBA, and in his first season in the league, Vic was a lock for the team. If that doesn't sound like too big of a deal to you, let me explain why it really is. Victor was able to show early in his career that he's able to improve and adapt at an incredible speed, and if his shot isn't dropping, we know the defense will always be there. One of the biggest worries for us was his free throws. For such a big player who is so talented, you would expect him to get to the line more often, but in the first half of the season he had a harder time getting to the rim for many reasons, but the main thing was having no true point guard for most of the season. But we expect that to improve dramatically next season. If you didn't watch the Spurs last season, there's no stat I could tell you that could explain this, but there's instances every game where Victor is either running up the court and is open or has a smaller defender on him, and he just needs the ball to take advantage of the situation, but the ball has a hard time finding him because of his guards. With the Spurs' biggest issues being a lack of playmaking coming from the point guard position, they went and got one of the greatest point guards and playmakers in NBA history in Chris Paul. This summer, the Spurs showed that they are committed to winning with this move. Chris Paul, known for his elite basketball IQ and ability to create opportunities for his teammates, could be the perfect solution to unlock Victor's full potential. His ability to run an offense, find open teammates, and exploit mismatches would complement Wemby's skill set, helping the Spurs capitalize on his unique talents. Like I mentioned earlier, the Spurs played most of the season without a traditional point guard. Coach Pop wanted to experiment with his lineups by playing Sochan at point guard. Sochan is a forward who had not played the guard position in the NBA yet, so this was a risky move, but if it worked out, the Spurs would have a versatile lineup. Jeremy quickly showed he didn't have what it takes to play the point guard position. His assists didn't go up even with the added responsibility, but this experiment wasn't for nothing. Jeremy showed growth in his shooting, mainly his catch-and-shoot three-pointers, going from 23% the season before to 32%. Halfway through the season, Tre Jones stepped into the starting lineup and finally gave the Spurs what they needed, a point guard. Wemby's jump in the second half of the season can partly be credited to this, and it wasn't just Wemby who benefited, it was the whole team. Before Tre was put into the starting lineup, the Spurs had only won 7 games and even went on an 18-game losing streak, but with him in the starting lineup late in the season, the Spurs won 15 more games, more than doubling their season total and putting them at 22 wins. Now with Chris Paul in the mix, the Spurs are adding a veteran presence and proven playmaker. Even though Paul may not be the scoring threat he once was, his leadership and experience will be invaluable to a young team like San Antonio. His 7 assists per game with the Warriors show he's still capable of orchestrating an offense, and his presence should elevate the players around him, much like he has done with every team he's been on throughout his career. Spurs fans can look forward to seeing how his influence shapes the growth of young talents like Wemby and rookie guard Stephon Castle, while his ability to control the flow of the game should bring a much-needed balance to the team's offense. The final key element to discuss for the Spurs is their supporting cast. We have to start with the Spurs' second-best player, Devin Vassell. Vassell has shown steady growth each season, but last year, he surprised fans with a significant jump in both his stats and efficiency. This improvement can be credited to a combination of factors, including another year of experience in the league, but perhaps more importantly, the added presence of Victor Wembanyama. Vassell was able to find better scoring opportunities. His improved shot selection and ability to capitalize on the space Wemby created allowed him to be more efficient from all areas of the court, both as a shooter and a slasher. Going into next season, with Chris Paul as a facilitator and an even more developed version of Wemby, Devin is primed to elevate his game further. Both Jones and Sochan, by going back to their original positions with the added experience, will bring more to the table next season, making the Spurs' supporting cast stronger and more well-rounded. These factors make the Spurs a very exciting team to watch next season. With their generational star, Victor Wembanyama, showing promising potential and growth, we expect a big year from him, especially with the pairing of veteran point guard Chris Paul. The Spurs' young core, led by Devin Vassell, who is poised for a breakout season as a 20-point-per-game scorer, and Tre Jones, who provides stability as a backup point guard, offers plenty of excitement. Jeremy Sochan will return to his forward position with improved shooting and playmaking experience, making him a more versatile weapon. The combination of Wembanyama's star potential, Paul's veteran leadership, and the rapid development of the Spurs' young talent makes this team one to watch. Their exciting mix of youth, skill, and leadership gives the Spurs the potential to make a major leap in the upcoming season. That's everything we have on the Spurs and why we're excited for them next season. If you think we missed any important details or want to see videos like this in the future, let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.